Alright, this is the first step in making graphite oxide. Is called preoxidation salting of the graphite. This is to make it heavy and sink to the bottom, so when you oxidize, you're moving from the bottom up, giving us a better oxidation of the product. So, first thing we need to do is make sure we have the proper glassware out. We need a 500 milliliter beaker for measuring water and other things, a graduate cylinder that at least 60 milliliters. I take the 100 milliliter ones for safety because we have room to work with. We have our hydrogen, or our sulfuric acid, and DI water. Do not get your DI water and your sulfuric acid together before it's time. So DI water makes, sulfuric acid makes DI water boil immediately. So the heat exchange is very high. We also have our Berkner filters and flask. We will have our #1 filter papers. This is a high pore size, 110 millimeter pore size. That goes in our filter paper because we're using gummy fluids. It will give us a very gummy structure. Make sure your hood is down anytime you're not using it. And when you pull it up, just pull enough for you to use. Get your hands in there and use it from there. Do not pull up super high. Do not. We're trying to maintain hood safety this way. I am tall, so I get a chair to bring myself down to a lower level for the hood. And then I pull the hood up just enough so I have the right thing, where my arms are in there but not too high, and I still have ability to move. Since I'm using a large jug, I got to put a little higher. Again, check with my lab procedures. To confirm how much I'm going to be putting in there. Sorry, I had to run and grab the lab procedures. So I'm putting 60 milliliters of concentrated sulfuric acid, and the minimum size is the 250 milliliter beaker. I'm going to be using a 1 liter for safety. You can change that out to whatever you feel comfortable, but remember the minimum is 250 milliliter beaker. Use a larger beaker, has a little bit larger size. If you use too large of a beaker, you're not going to get the surface area. So, and we're not doing over 10 grams at a time. Over 10 grams becomes a safety issue. So, when pouring sulfuric acid, make sure you have your gloves on. Make sure you have a lab coat. Make sure you have goggles. And they need to be splash resistant goggles. So I'm going to pour very carefully into the graduate cylinder, 60 milliliters. Some people like to use funnel. That's all up to you. There's 60 mils. And I'm going to pour that in. I have a small spill here, so I'm going to go get some bicarbonate and put it down on the spill. So anytime you spill acids or bases, the first step is to take a little bit of bicarbonate we have in every lab and shake out a little bit on it, see how it bubbles and that neutralizes it. We just shake out a little bit more and it should be good. That's the first safety step I will emphasize, is always have bicarbonate on hand. Second one is when you're done with the chemical, it goes into the acid area. And there we go. It's away from you. You do not have access to it. And pull the hood back down when not accessing the hood. Next step is to put in our 5 grams of potassium sulfate. So let's put our 5 grams in. There's our 5 grams of potassium sulfate. And we are supposed to heat that mixture to 80 degrees C. Now I have a thermometer in there to ensure the temperature. I'm going to start the stir stick and make sure I'm getting a mixture. You can notice how it's clumped. That's why we're heating the mixture, so we can get the dissolved of the potassium sulfate. And I'm going to heat it to 80 degrees. So I'm going to stop the procedure at this point and stop the video at this point, and I'll pick back up when I'm on step 2.